Every anime studio explained in 17 minutes, except he forgot some, but let's check it out
Studio
anyway.
Toei was founded in
OG,
1948,
baby.
making it one of the oldest
1948.
animation studios, and
What
it's
the hell?
responsible for some of the biggest anime ever, like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Sailor Moon, and much, much more. Because they've been around for so long, they have a history that I can't entirely cover, but I'll try.
No, you
Toei
cannot,
actually
brother.
helped popularize trends like magical girls with Sailor Moon, or Super
Magical
Mecha with
Girls,
Mazinger Z, and Toei Animation can
Transformations.
generally be a mixed bag. Because they take on so many projects and have many different teams working on different productions, the quality can vary wildly. If you see that Toei is animating something, you should check the actual staff involved with
Yeah,
that
that's
series,
crazy.
and that usually is a better indicator of the actual quality that that series will
Damn, you
have.
gotta
I
check the
mean, just look at the
staff.
inconsistency in One Piece. Some of the episodes are jaw-dropping, but some are just like, eh. But one of the best things about Toei Animation is that their workers are unionized, meaning that
Oh,
they are
good.
generally treated amazingly compared to other anime studios. From what I
Yeah,
understand, working
definitely.
on One Piece is a pretty smooth and positive experience. Studio
Okay.
Madhouse was founded in 1972 and is well regarded in the anime
Madhouse.
community for their sheer quantity of quality shows that they produce. This is mainly because the former founder and CEO, Masao Maruyama, had connections to people like Satoshi Kon, Mamoru Hosoda, and Masaki Yuasa, some of the best anime directors, and they were able to consistently pump out bangers. They've made a ton of insanely high quality projects like Perfect Blue, Death Note,
Never
One
seen
Punch
it.
Man,
Death Note's
Hunter x
fire.
Hunter,
One
and even
Punch
just
Man
recently
is
Free Ren.
dope.
Unfortunately,
Hunter
in
Hunter's
2010,
fire.
a big Punch
I
Man, Hunter x Hunter, and even just recently Free Ren.
I've heard a lot about how this is one of the greatest animes of all time. Is it true? Let me know in the comments below.
Unfortunately, in 2010, a big split happened between Madhouse, and they lost a lot of their core staff. In addition, Maruyama left to make Mappa, which really hurt Madhouse in the long run. We'll get to that
Okay.
later. But
Why did
surprisingly,
he
they seem
leave?
to have rebuilt themselves, and it looks like they are still capable of pumping out amazing shows while still grabbing industry veterans, as shown with Free Ren. And honestly, I doubt that fact will change in the future because of their legacy. However, just like other anime studios, Madhouse has had problems with overworking their employees. In 2019, a production assistant said that he worked over 393 hours in a single month. That's
You can
insane.
do that?
And he ended up
He's
joining a
alive?
union to actually sue Madhouse for the
Yeah.
overtime. Studio
Yeah.
Ghibli is probably the
You know,
most
it's crazy because with stuff like this, right, with anime, of course, everybody wants to see the product. A lot of people only care about the product, right? But with something like anime, the designs, the choreographies, the illustrations, all this stuff takes a lot of time. But of course, a lot of these people get crunched out, and it's kind of sad to see. And it's like, for me personally, I have no issue waiting. But I know the next person, he don't care how many dead bodies pile up, as long as he get his next episode of whatever, that's all he care about. So it's like there needs to be a middle ground, and like of course, I'm cool with the unions. I have no issues with it, human rights and all that good stuff. And that's about it. I mean, I ain't got no butts to put in there, bro. Like that, unionize. Fuck that.
widely recognized anime studio in the world,
OG.
and that's for good reason. Only two anime movies have ever won Oscars, and both belong to Spirited Away and The Boy and the Heron, respectively. In
I have not
1985,
seen The Boy and the Heron, but Spirit Away is absolutely one of my favorite anime movies of all time.
Miyazaki and Takahata broke off from Toei
See
Animation
you
to
later,
form Ghibli,
alligator.
along with Toshio Suzuki. It is worth noting that Hayao Miyazaki is pretty much the face of Studio Ghibli. Every work with his name attached seems to garner a ton more attention. Also, if you're wondering why a lot of his movies feature airplanes and casualties of war, his brother's company actually manufactured rudders for planes in World War II. Kind of explains why The Wind Rises was made. After writing his breakthrough manga, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, he ended up directing Ghibli's first ever movie, an adaptation of that same manga, and it was a huge success, and this kickstarted the studio's legacy. Ghibli in general is known for their high quality animation, background art, and extremely memorable music by Joe Hisashi. Ghibli films are mostly hand-drawn using watercolor and acrylic paints, and most of their movies use traditional animation methods, where each frame is
Keys
drawn and
Delivery
colored by
Service.
hand. Because of this, their movies give off almost a cozy European vibe that have a lot of emphasis on the nature and backgrounds in each scene. I mean, seriously, look at the backgrounds in Ghibli films, they look amazing. People usually
Busy.
regard Spirited Away or Totoro as their best work, as they have the most critical acclaim and popularity. Personally, I think Howl's Moving Castle, Grave of the Fireflies, and Princess Mononoke are their best
Bro, Graves of the Fireflies is insane. And Princess Mononoke basically turned me into a furry when I was young.
works. Wit Studio is a new studio founded in 2012 by Production IG. The studio was essentially created
IG.
for their first project. Attack on
Uh,
Titan. Yes, literally one of the best anime of all time was Wit
wow.
Studio's first
Okay.
project. And they were
Good.
also responsible for some of
Nice.
the biggest anime, like Spy Family and Vinland Saga's first season.
Bro, Spy Family was so cool up until a point, and I was like, man, this shit kind of whack because I thought it was going to be way more assassinations and spy shit like that. I do think Anya's kind of cool though, but Vinland Saga, I gotta watch that. Bro, Vinland Saga, bro, that show right there, goated, brother, goated. One of the greatest animes I've ever seen, bro.
Wit Studio is known for their amazing action
Goated,
sequences
bro.
with dynamic camera angles, and a lot of this can be attributed to Tetsuo
Damn, that looked
Araki.
fire.
The action and pacing he gave to Attack
I
on
never really
Titan's
watched
first few
Attack on
seasons
Titan.
has created some of the best
I only
action
followed the
sequences I've
story.
ever seen. They've also reportedly
Damn, that
started
was
work
sick.
on a One Piece reboot, which is low-key crazy.
A reboot, bro. The show not even done yet. Y'all gonna reboot? Y'all gonna start back over, bro? No! Bro, how many episodes in One Piece? Like, hey, let's do it again.
Considering One Piece hasn't even finished, but
What the
whatever.
fuck?
On one hand, it's insane to think that they're working on so many projects.
No!
But on the other hand, this is the anime industry.
The cash
So
cow
we
don't
can
stop,
imagine
baby.
what these animators are actually going through. And in 2015, an interview was done with Naganuma, a staff member at Studio Wit. When they asked about his experience, he said, "It's a battlefield. Basically, what you see on Attack on Titan is what I see at Studio Wit. One
the hell?
comrade falls after another." What is going
What the
on in
hell?
Studio Wit? Apparently, the default lunch of Studio Wit members is energy bars, and they all magically revive after eating one and then go back to work. Yeah, I hope they're exaggerating because that sounds pretty horrible, not gonna lie. Sunrise Studio was founded in 1972
Gundam,
and
baby.
revolutionized how anime was made. Instead of having a production revolve around a single person, they created the role of producers who invested in anime together to mitigate risk. This helped them create many classics like Cowboy Bebop, Pat Labor, Code Geass,
snap.
and of course,
Let's go.
the Gundam series. They've
That
also
never
formally
stopped.
been renamed to Bandai Namco Filmworks, but I'm gonna keep calling them Sunrise. As a studio, they're
Bandai
well known for
Namco
their fluid
Filmworks.
animation sequences, which gave them the
Hell
nickname
yeah.
Sunrise Smooth. Honestly, fire cocktail.
Hell
Like
yeah.
Toei, because they are so big, they have a ton of smaller teams simultaneously working on their projects. And because of that, it's also a mixed bag. Sunrise as a studio is hugely influential. I mean, just take a look at how popular Gundam as a series is. A lot of that can be attributed to Sunrise's great anime adaptations of the franchise. In addition, they produce a ton of great classics and have the name recognition to pull in industry veterans. And that's not the only genre that they've revolutionized. Love Live was created by Sunrise Studio as well, and has pretty much made anime idol girls that much more popular. And in terms of working conditions, it seems that Sunrise is pretty good and treats their full-time employees well. Studio Gainax was founded in 1984 and used to be considered the GOAT of anime studios. Their
And then what
first
happened?
big commercial success is considered to be Gunbuster, which is still a
Haven't seen it.
widely influential anime, but they would end up making something that was even greater. One of these university
looked
students who
dope.
founded Studio Gainax was named Hideki Anno, and he would head Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is
Classic.
one of the most influential anime of all time, and is widely considered to be the studio's best and most popular work, and it allowed the studio to keep making great projects. Shows like Karekano, Fooly Cooly, and Gurren Lagann are
They
results
made
of
Fooly Cooly. Bro, Fooly Cooly is so fucking cool, bro. If y'all haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. Y'all can go watch the whole thing. I haven't seen Gurren Lagann, but I heard a lot about it.
and arguably some of the best anime to ever be created. My opinion. The reason Gainax shows are so good is because they're so creative. And a part of this idea is something called the Gainax ending, where a Gainax show will end kind of unexpectedly or weirdly. Either this is done out of an artistic or creative decision, or sometimes it's just done to meet deadlines. But the Gainax ending is known in the anime community as kind of a staple of the studio. But unfortunately, Gainax didn't last forever. Studio Trigger was founded by former Gainax staff members Hiroko Imashi and Masaki
made,
Otsuka in
Cyberpunk.
2011, and it definitely feels like it's carried on that creative
Edge
spirit that
Runners.
Gainax had. They immediately came out swinging with series like Kill la Kill and movies like Little
I
Witch
haven't seen Kill la
Academia.
Kill.
Gurren Lagann, one of
I've not seen
Gainax's
that
later
one.
works, definitely served as the core inspiration for a lot of Trigger's early works. Trigger is also known for their crazy plot lines and fluid visuals, both of which complement
shit
each
looks
other
smooth.
perfectly.
Okay.
Their storytelling is often
Okay.
chaotic and comedic at the same time, which helps their exaggerated
What the
animation
hell?
sell that much more. If you want a good example of some of their recent works, Cyberpunk Edge
Edge
Runners was absolutely
Runners.
amazing, and Dungeon Meshi is looking to be a more grounded but still action-packed Trigger show. Mappa is one of the most well-known animation studios today for their amazing work on shows like Jujutsu Kaisen. They were founded in 2011 by seasoned anime producer Masayo
Nah, I
Maruyama after he left Madhouse. Due to his
Purple.
connections, Mappa was immediately interconnected with the anime industry, but in 2016,
What's
Maruyama
red and blue
left
make?
and was replaced by Manabu Utsuka, which resulted in huge changes to the company's culture and goals. Mappa as a
Okay.
studio now more has a reputation of being very reckless. They've grown extremely fast due to taking on a bunch of projects and still being able to deliver quality animation. But of course, we talk about anime, we have to talk about their work practices and how they get that quality animation in the first place. Everything from the scheduling, the work hours, and even the culture has been criticized at Mappa. This became a trending topic during Jujutsu Kaisen's second season. Animators on Twitter revealed that their time at Mappa was horrible. One person who worked on the final part of Attack on Titan said that they finally got to go home after 3 days. Like,
What the
Mappa, what are
hell?
you doing to the animators?
3
Let them out,
days.
please. Unfortunately, Mappa has zero to little reason to stop their practices because the properties that they're
'Cause they
adapting are some
winning.
of the biggest in the world.
They
like Vinland
winning.
Saga Season 2, Chainsaw
That shit
Man,
was
and
good.
Attack on Titan. They
Haven't
also
seen
have
that.
a ton
Haven't
of
seen it.
connections within the industry, and that's why they're able to get so many talented animators in their studio despite the horrible pay and working conditions. I only hope that it can get better because Mappa is truly working these animators into the ground. Kyoto Animation, also known
sad.
as KyoAni, is very different from Mappa, and it's considered to be the gold standard of workplace culture for anime studios. Founded in the city of Kyoto in 1985, the married couple Yoko and Hideki Hata have, in my research, always fostered a great work culture. And unlike other studios, KyoAni employees are salaried and not freelancers. In addition, they even
Oh,
have
that's amazing. Wait, so all these other companies were using freelancers? How the hell do they keep up such a? Oh, I guess if they're freelancers, they're the best of the best, right?
training programs for young animators to work underneath supervisors and learn throughout their career. You might be
Oh,
surprised to
that's
hear that
cool. They
most
got a whole
animators aren't
training
even technically
program.
full-time employees. But yeah, that is the industry standard. But
That's
KyoAni is very
wild.
different. They have full-time employees that even get benefits like maternity leave, which is
Oh, hell
insanely
yeah.
good and almost
That's
unheard of in the anime
crazy.
industry. Now, why are they able to afford all of this? Well, usually anime studios make very little money, even if their anime does really well. The reason for this is that anime studios don't really fund anime themselves, production committees do. Depending on the studio and the amount of producers involved, the amount of money that the studio actually sees after an anime can be pretty variable. Mappa, for example, doesn't usually keep a large slice of the pie. KyoAni, on the other hand, he has a huge slice when they produce anime. But why is there a difference? The reason is very unique to KyoAni. In 2009, they started hosting the annual Kyoto Animation Awards in 3 categories: original novels, manga, and scenarios. And a lot of their biggest work have come from these contests, the most notable ones being Chunibyo or Violet Evergarden or even Free. This means
I've
that
heard
even
about
if the anime
Chunibyo.
doesn't do amazing, they still make a majority of the revenue from that anime because they are licensing those projects. And because KyoAni doesn't have this pressure of external producers, they can also take way longer to work on their anime. That's why when you watch our shows like Violet Evergarden or Hibiki Euphonium,
That looks
you can see the
amazing.
love
Look at
and
this.
care in every single shot. I mean, come on,
Holy
genuinely,
moly.
look at this animation. This is some of the
Yeah,
best
this is
animation that the
beautiful.
medium has to offer, and all the
For
employees
real.
were treated fairly. It's the best of both worlds. Their work culture and business model has been very successful, and I hope the best for them, and I hope
What is this song? What is this song, bro? I used to watch this YouTuber, bro, and he would talk about like Danganronpa's story, blah, 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 blah. And they were great videos, but he would always have this song in the background, this slow ass. What the hell is this song? Is it coming from this anime? What is this OST? I need to hear it, bro.
this is
It's
some
so
of the best
fucking
animation that the
beautiful,
medium has
bro.
to offer, and all the employees were treated fairly. It's the best of both worlds. Their work culture and business model has been very successful, and I hope the best for them, and I hope more anime studios start to move in this direction. And they're also known for making people cry. I mean, if you watch Clannad or Canon,
I'm gonna guess it's from Violet Evergarden. I'm gonna have to, bro. I swear, I've been looking for this song for legitimately 3 fucking years, man. Somebody help me out.
you know that that
I
shit
had
makes you
no
cry, man.
leads.
A1 Pictures was created by a former Sunrise staff producer in 2005, and they are pretty interesting because their works are very variable in terms of animation.
Oh, they made
Usually
Persona 3
depends on
movie.
if the
Okay.
project has the budget and if the production schedule
Persona
itself
5
is good,
animation?
but
Okay.
they are well known in the anime community for consistently releasing a ton of anime, more specifically light novel adaptations. A lot of these don't really hold up in the long term, although it's not to say that they never release good looking shows. You know, Sword Art Online, Solo Leveling, and Kaguya-sama all look really good, but at the
I think Sword Art's all right. Solo leveling's pretty cool. I have not seen Love is
At
War.
the same time, the releases include Arrow Manga
I
Sensei,
like the
which
dance
is
though.
like, eh.
What the hell
Also,
is
in
this?
2018, a section of A1 Pictures broke off into Cloverworks Studios, which is still managed by the same Aniplex parent company, but tends to have a
Aniplex,
much higher
let's go.
benchmark of animation quality within their shows. It's also worth
AOG,
noting that
they
A1
better have
Pictures
it.
has a pretty bad reputation of overworking their employees. In
Oh,
2014, a 28-year-old employee at A1 Pictures worked over 600 hours a month for 3 years and ended up committing suicide. This has forever stained their reputation. Shame on you, A1 Pictures. Science Saru was founded in
That's sad to
2013
hear,
by
bro.
famous anime
Rest in
director
peace.
Masaki Yuasa and animator Enyong
Oh,
Choi,
Devilman
who had a
Crybaby.
long history with Yuasa. Their first work as a studio was actually an episode of Adventure Time, but their
Really?
first series was Ping Pong the Animation. In addition, they don't
Uh,
really care about the nationality of their employees, instead choose them based on
uh,
their skill. This means that a
uh.
ton of Science Saru employees aren't even Japanese. As a studio, Science
That's
Saru is
cool.
known for being out of the box. They experiment with really insane color palettes and are not afraid to push the envelope with series like Devilman Crybaby, which has
Yeah, bro.
tons of
Bro, that bro, Devilman Crybaby, bro. It starts off, it's like, damn, this is kind of cool. And then it gets like, oh, damn, this kind of deep. And then by the end, you're like, bro, what the fuck did I just watch, bro?
gore, gay sex scenes, and a whole lot more that I can't show.
It's
A lot of
crazy,
their
bro.
weird
I
energy
swear to
does
you.
come from Masaki Yuasa, but Science
After the club scene, Devilman Crybaby basically just turns itself on its edge and it just keeps going.
Saru
It's
recently
crazy,
released
brother.
Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which is just
Haven't
as
seen
weird
a new
despite
Scott
not being
Pilgrim?
directed by
That's
Yuasa at all.
cool.
If you want some more Science Saru recommendations, I would highly recommend Devilman Crybaby, Ping
Crazy.
Pong the Animation, and Keep Your Hands Up Azuka. Also, watch out for Danzadan, which is coming out soon and is aimed by Science Saru. I'm really excited for this one. Studio Shaft was founded in 1975 and are
Lol.
known for their experimental visual styles. Some popular example of Shaft anime are Madoka Magica or the Monogatari series. You can immediately tell that
Never
you're
seen
watching
it.
a Studio Shaft production due to the work of
It looks
directors
different though, for
Akiyuki
real.
Shinbo, Shino Numa, and Tatsuya Oishi, who formed what is known as Team Shinbo. This Team Shinbo led to very
Shinbo, okay.
distinct stylistic ideals with whatever project that they were working on. Sometimes they would use sharp color contrast, high-paced jump cuts, and even place real-world objects within the animation itself. All of this gives Studio Shaft anime a really surrealist feeling, which I think is super cool.
What
the
the
Monogatari
hell?
series also features iconic moments
art.
like the Shaft head tilt, which is actually confirmed by Team Shinbo to be a Studio Shaft staple.
My
Although
neck!
Shaft has lost a lot of their core staff over time, including the disbandment of Team Shinbo, they still produce popular shows like March Comes In Like a Lion and Quintessential Quintuplets. Ufotable? Ufotable? Ufotable was founded in
They
2000
made
by Hikaru Kondo after he split from Telecom Animation
Demon
Film.
Slayer.
They're well known for their strong relationship with the game company Type Moon, and they've adapted a ton of their games, like the Fate series and Garden of Sinners, as well as working
Are the games good?
with them to create animations for their in-game cutscenes. Ufotable is most notable for their incredibly vibrant and
Inokami
colorful
Kagura, let's
animation.
go.
As I'm sure many of you have seen with Demon Slayer, arguably
That shit
Ufotable is the
crazy.
best studio in the industry at combining 3D computer graphics with traditional 2D sakuga. Like KyoAni, Ufotable hires a lot of their employees full-time and is regarded as one of the better animation companies to work for. I'm not really sure where they're getting all that money from, but wait a second, they committed tax
Demon
fraud?
Slayer,
Yeah,
bro.
this is something that I actually didn't know about until I
Oh!
made this video, but apparently
Oh!
Hikaru Kondo refused to pay around $4 million in taxes, and also
Did
the
he go to
Japanese
jail?
government made a report noting that Ufotable was suspected of misappropriating funds from a charity auction for the 2011 Tohoku earthquake. They never ended up filing charges, but Kondo resigned, and because of this, he is now facing up to 20 months in prison. Top G move.
Bro, what the hell? Oh man. He only get 20 months, bro. In America, bro, you'd be lucky to see daylight after some shit like that.
If you ask me. Studio Bones was founded in 1988 by former Sunrise staff members who were bored on working on mecha anime and wanted to try more creative projects. Studio Bones is most well known for their insanely well
Ooh,
executed
they made
fight and
FMA?
action sequences. In fact, you could argue that they have
My
some
Hero
of the best
too?
2D sakuga in the industry right now. A huge reason
Okay.
that they're known for this is because of Yutaka Nakamura, known as one of the GOATs in animation. He's popularized techniques like the Yutapon cube, which is where debris forms cubes to show the destruction. You can see the influence of Yutapon cubes across the industry. I mean, even in The Legend of
Korra?
Korra, I've seen Yutapon
Hell
cubes
yeah.
made for debris. And even now, Nakamura continues to innovate at Bones. Because of this, they've created some absolute
What the
bangers
hell?
over the years, like Cowboy Bebop the movie, the Full Metal
Haven't seen it.
Alchemist series, Mob Psycho 100,
Fire.
or on High School
Fire.
Host Club, My
Haven't seen
Hero
it.
Academia. I mean,
Fire.
much more. Just go
Well,
through
I stopped watching it, but maybe it's still fire. I don't. Y'all let me know because I stopped watching after season 3. I stopped watching.
Bones' catalog. It is impeccable. Studio Orange was founded by 3D CG animator Eiji Inomoto in 2004, who is well known for his works
I like
like
his
Ghost in
hair.
the Shell and Zoid, specifically
He made Ghost in the
3D
Shell?
animation.
I love it.
The studio mainly did outsourced
Bro, I'm so conflicted to see Zoids on here because as a kid, I thought Zoids were cool. I rewatched Zoids. I'm like, it's alright.
3D animation until 2013, when they started doing co-production with other studios to make shows like Black Bullet. But then Orange started making completely new anime, with shows like Land of the Lustrous being met with great critical
This
reception
looks
for actually
crazy. What
having
the
good
hell?
CG. Studio Orange is so unique in their approach to 3D
She fighting a
animation
Dark
that I
Souls
can
boss.
genuinely tell that they understand the
Damn, she
strengths
got
of
flipped. She
CG
came back.
and how to
Oh,
play into
oh
them.
shit!
Usually in 2D
She get her
anime,
ass whooped,
CG is
man.
just kind of thrown in there when an
Yeah,
object is difficult to animate, and
Berserk,
it doesn't usually
bro. Oh
blend
my
all
god,
that well. Meanwhile,
terrible.
Studio Orange makes sure that all of their models feel like they are
The
genuinely a
animation before someone thinks I think Berserk is terrible. No, Berserk's one of the fucking greatest. It's just the animation on this shit. Ugh.
live instead of just stiff figurines.
Oh, I
Their
saw
character
this.
expressions genuinely feel
That was
magical
cool.
and live, almost Disney-like, but with that anime touch. And this is because they don't shy
Oh,
away from using 2D animation to first sketch out what the facial expressions might look like. Using both mediums like this
yeah,
results in
use
a
both. Why
product
not?
that is greater than the sum of its parts. And you can see this clearly in their newest series, Trigun Stampede, where Vash's
Yeah.
facial expressions and movements just feel so fluid and alive. I genuinely love them. Their 3D animation doesn't make me gross out or wish that the studio had more budget to just make it 2D instead, because the anime genuinely looks better in 3D, and I think it's a sign of more 3D animation to come. Before I end this video, I want to let you all know that I stream on Twitch a lot. Check out my Twitter for updates.
Oh snap, brother! I didn't mean to cut off the video. I accidentally went to his channel. That's dope. That was cool. I enjoyed this video. I hit it with a like. I hit it with a sub because we'll see what comes out next. Anyways, this is your boy KhunShawn. If you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Signing out.